Year.
And Mike, this really was, at the end of the day, Donald Trump's right. It wasn't about him. It was about an angry country that felt like they had been forgotten. They had been left behind. Elites had looked down to him for years. This was Staten Island saying enough to Manhattan. This was Northwest Florida saying enough to Palm Beach and Broward County. This really was. This was forgotten America rising up and choosing Donald Trump as their vehicle.
Sure, he was the vehicle, Joe, in a clash of cultures between 50% of the country against the other 50% of the country, and you have this big, egotistical, headline-grabbing, sprawling guy coming out of Queens with a huge chip on his shoulder, and he came very quickly because of how he behaved and what he said to represent, you know, the hopes and the anger and the dreams and a whole jumble of emotions among so many people. But all of that was basically New Haven. It was taking the play and tryouts in New Haven. This is the real deal today.
So let me ask you a question. You said this big, arrogant guy. Why is it that this, as you say, this big, arrogant guy...
I don't mean that in a pejorative sense.
I know, but what I'm saying, though, why did he become the voice? Americans who were sick and tired of big, arrogant guys like us in the media, like us in politics, like us in Manhattan, in Washington, D.C. Why did they choose him as their vehicle?
Because his vehicle was a set piece of elements easily toppled.
Right.
Everybody that he ran against, everybody on that initial stage, all the Republican candidates, that's all they'd done throughout their lives. They were professional politicians. They represented the system that so many people felt really abused them in the fall and winter of 2008, 2009. Something that no politician ever really was able to put his pulse on. How many people lost so much so quickly in those few short months of the economic collapse, and nobody ever addressed it.
Robert Costa, think of the